找对象
Looking for a partner, don't focus too much on a man's height. Nowadays, no matter how tall a woman is, she always wants a man who's at least 1 meter 75 or taller. But honestly, even though girls like tall guys after getting married, you'll realize that the happiness of your marriage has absolutely nothing to do with height. What truly matters is whether he is emotionally stable, serious about his work, kind in character, able to see things from your perspective, and absolutely loyal to the marriage. It's about the values and upbringing that are deeply rooted in his family background. It's about the kind of relationship where 1 + 1 is greater than 2, where when you feel helpless, he can step up and fight for you, rather than leaving you to face chaos alone. A life partner is truly important. You have to choose carefully, because he will become the light of your later years. So when looking for someone to be with, focus more on his abilities and character, and don't reject a man who could be right for you just because of his height.
没有前任，我母胎单身。
Do you like cooking? Cooking? Which kind of cooking, laughs? Then how many times a week do you think is good to cook? Maybe twice a week, like a regular job. You can call me A. She was born in 1998, 1 meter 64 tall, currently working at a bookstore. Are you an artist or a lover? An artist, obviously. Laughs. Have you ever done anything outrageous? No, not at all. I've always lived carefully, as if walking on thin ice. Are you a sweet girl or a spicy girl? Sweet. As a sweet girl, how do you act spoiled? I don't act spoiled. Don't even try that with me. Then how could someone win your heart? I think as long as he treats me well, that's enough.
你让我住你们家。
You told me I could live in your house, but then you said I couldn't bring any men home. Why? Who gave you the right to control me? I won't listen to you, and I won't stay here just to please your family. Today's story comes from a female submission, and honestly, reading it made my blood boil. It's like a real-life version of The Farmer and the Snake. So now, let's dive right into it, and I'll take you through the story from a first-person perspective. The main character, let's call her Ting Ting, was my high school classmate. Back then, we got along pretty well, both of us being students who weren't exactly good at studying. Later, we both dropped out of school around the same time. I went to the city to work, while she stayed in our hometown doing odd jobs. Sometime later, Ting Ting also came to the city to look for a job. But just 3 days into her new job, she quit, saying she didn't want to do it anymore. Then she asked me if I was free, saying she missed me and wanted to hang out. Coincidentally, that day was my payday, so I said, okay, let's go out. We went shopping, strolling through malls, eating out, and grabbing drinks. I paid for everything. She didn't spend a single cent. That evening, a friend invited me to have some barbecue, so I brought Ting Ting along. After all, it would have been awkward to leave her behind. But as we were eating and chatting happily, Ting Ting suddenly blurted out, "Why does this barbecue taste so bad? It has a weird smell." And she said this right in front of everyone, even though she didn't pay a single cent. I was mortified. I quickly tried to smooth things over, but Ting Ting just kept complaining. My friend got visibly uncomfortable, and I started regretting bringing her. It wasn't even my treat, it was my friend's, and there she was insulting the food right to his face. After that awkward dinner, it was almost 11 at night. I asked Ting Ting where she was staying, offering to drive her home. She said she didn't know her previous company provided room and board, but since she had quit, she could no longer stay there. I looked at her standing there, a small girl with a worn-out backpack, and I couldn't help but feel sorry for her. So I drove her back to her old company. To get her belongings, it took over 30 to 40 minutes, and I helped her pack everything. By the time we were done, it was already past midnight. Then I took her to my place. Ting Ting was really thankful and touched, but my original intention was just to let her stay for a few days until she found a job and moved out. I don't like living with others for too long because, as the saying goes, too much closeness breeds contempt. However, who could have known that a few days would turn into several months? At first, Ting Ting was still looking for jobs. I thought job hunting was hard, especially in the hot summer. I felt bad seeing her riding buses and bikes alone in the heat. So since I had a car, I drove her to interviews. I even waited for her downstairs every time. But despite attending several interviews, she didn't accept any offers. She'd say the pay was too low or the work too hard, always finding excuses. I told her, "Don't be so picky, just start somewhere." Instead, she snapped back at me, "What, you're just trying to get rid of me? Am I such an eyesore to you?" Her words stung. I felt terrible, so I stopped pushing her. Then she stopped even pretending to look for a job. She just stayed home every day, eating my food, using my things, treating me like a human ATM. I liked keeping snacks and fruit in the house, and I told her politely, "If you're hungry, help yourself." But Ting Ting took that way too literally. She started devouring everything and never cleaned up after herself. Wrappers, fruit peels, half-eaten food all left out on the coffee table until flies started buzzing around. I told her, "It's summer now. If you don't clean up after eating, the house will start to stink. Please tidy up." She just gave me a cold look and ignored me. Only after I reminded her several times did she finally clean up a little. Later, I had to go on some business trips. I told her, "You'll be alone at home for a few days. Don't be scared, and don't open the door to strangers." She didn't even look up, just muttered, with an annoyed tone as if I were the one freeloading at her place. Still, I couldn't bring myself to kick her out. By the second month, I was too busy to drive her to job interviews anymore, so I told her, "From now on, you'll need to take the bus yourself." She replied sarcastically, "Of course I will. How else would I get there?" Then she slammed the door hard and stormed off. That evening, she came home acting sweet again, saying she'd found an easy job and planned to start working. I decided to forgive her, but within a few days she quit again, saying that company wasn't right either. I sighed and, being too soft-hearted, started driving her around for interviews again, basically her unpaid chauffeur. Finally, she landed a job she liked, and around the same time, I was being transferred for work. I couldn't stay in my current apartment anymore, which, by the way, wasn't rented. It was my family's property. So I told Ting Ting, "Since you found a job, you should start looking for your own place. But if you can't find one right away, you can stay here for now. I won't charge you rent or anything. Just one rule, don't bring strangers home, especially not men." She agreed readily, saying, "Don't worry, I understand." A few days later, while she was at work, I decided to stop by my apartment to grab some clothes I had left behind. The moment I opened the door, a horrible stench hit me, trash everywhere, flies buzzing around. I went into my room and found a condom instruction leaflet on the bedside table, crumpled sheets, and a strange smell in the air. My heart sank. I knew exactly what had happened. I went to Ting Ting's room, same mess, more condoms. I took photos as evidence and called her immediately, asking, "Did you bring someone into my house?" She denied everything, saying, "Of course not. Why would I? Don't accuse me." I told her, "Don't play games with me. I have evidence." Then I sent her the photos. Even then, she kept denying it until I said, "Fine, I'll just pull the security footage from the building." Only then did she finally admit it, saying, "Okay, yes, I did bring someone over, but we didn't do anything." As if I'd believe that. I told her, "Enough. Don't stay in my house anymore. We can't afford to keep someone like you here." She had the audacity to argue, "No, I still need to stay a few more days." I said, "Why? This is my house, not yours. You've been freeloading long enough." I took her keys, went back home with a friend, packed all her stuff, and dropped it off at the front desk of her company under the security cameras, just in case she tried to accuse me of anything. After that, Ting Ting deleted my contact information and never spoke to me again. I later heard she was staying at another former classmate's place, probably mooching off them now. When it was all over, I bought my friend a pack of cigarettes to thank him for helping me. Since then, I've cut all ties with Ting Ting. I helped her out of kindness, not because I owed her anything. But she repaid me with betrayal, doing exactly what I told her not to do, even bringing men into my home. So everyone, learn from this. Never let someone casually move into your home, no matter how pitiful they seem. You never know what kind of snake you're taking in. Just like the story of the farmer and the snake, that's exactly what this was. The story ends here, and my advice to everyone is, choose your friends wisely, and never let anyone live in your home so easily. Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers across the world is a huge source of inspiration for us.
你培养他，他就会离开你。
If you nurture him, he will eventually leave you. If you educate and help him, he will grow tired of you. If you devote yourself to him completely, you will be drained and abandoned. When you help him, he will see you merely as a stepping stone, not someone to be grateful for. He will believe that everything he has achieved is the result of his own hard work. So don't forget, for many people, the very first thing they do after reaching the shore of success is to cut ties with the one they once loved. Not to mention, you might not have even been that loved one in his heart to begin with.
想要脱单，第一步就远离那些
If you want to stop being single, the very first step is to stay away from people who are filled with negative energy. Stay away from those who are always pessimistic. Stay away from those who keep saying they don't want to get married. And stay away from those who constantly talk about growing old together with their girlfriends. Delete them. Block them immediately. That is truly the first step towards successfully finding love.
女生说要的时候到底是要还是不？
I've never had an ex. I've been single since birth. My surname is Xiao, the same Xiao as in Xiaozhan. I'm 1 meter 66 tall. Do you believe in online dating? No, I don't. Are you a sweet girl or a spicy girl? I'm an egg girl, laughs. Then what do you think is the best kind of beauty treatment for women? I think it's sleep. Honestly, I swear last night I went to bed before 3 o'clock, and this morning my skin instantly looked 10 years younger. What do you think is the best beauty treatment for men? Insecurity. Why? Because I think men who are too confident give off a greasy, unpleasant vibe. Would you ever show your boyfriend your chat history with your best friends? No. Why not? Because you simply can't broadcast those things.
长得漂亮就一定是玩的花吗？
Does being pretty automatically mean you're a player? I once recommended a girl, born in 1998, 1 meter 65 tall, with a bachelor's degree, and honestly, she's very beautiful. At that time, I had posted her photo in the comments section, and immediately a bunch of people started saying things like, "Wow, she's so pretty, she must have dated a lot of guys," or "She must be very flirtatious." But why? Why does being beautiful automatically mean she's had many relationships? In fact, this girl has been single since birth. I remember she once told me that she really wanted to fall in love, but the guys she met were always the type who would start calling her baby after just 1 or 2 short conversations. The moment she added someone on WeChat, they would already act like they were pursuing her. She said she was tired of that. In this fast food style of modern dating, what she truly wanted was to find someone genuine, someone who values feelings and doesn't treat love as a joke. But she just kept meeting the wrong people, so she came to me and said she wanted to find a sincere, emotionally grounded man.
你说的再好听，你不如实实在在的给我卡里面打钱的这种。
No matter how sweet your words are, they're still not as good as actually transferring money into my bank account. Don't tell me what kind of Lao car you drive, or what kind of lab brand it is. That's not important. To me, what car you drive doesn't matter, how big your house is doesn't matter, how much you earn in a year doesn't matter. What does matter is whether you can transfer at least 100,000 into my account every year. That's what's important. Even if you earn 150,000 a year, you spend 50,000 yourself and give me 100,000, I can accept that. Though honestly, even transferring 100,000 a year, I'd only barely accept it. Who the hell do you think you are? This is the first time I've seen someone asking others for money with such confidence. How can you even say that out loud, asking for 100,000 just like that? Do you think people would even be willing to give you 100 yuan a month, huh? Some people, really, they've just never seen money in their life. They don't even understand what those numbers mean, and yet they have the nerve to ask others for it. And after asking, no one gives them anything, so they go on the internet to embarrass themselves. Honestly, you're hopeless. You're a grown adult. What are you even doing? Go out and find yourself a job. Seriously.
那你喜欢做饭吗？
So, do you think men are more lustful or women are? Men, of course, laughs. Why? Because men are animals driven by their upper body, laughs again. She's from Suzhou, 1 meter 73 tall, a graduate of the London College of Fashion. What kind of personality do you have? I'm cheerful and lively. Then do you care about material things when it comes to a partner? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? How could there still be people who say they don't care about material things nowadays? So you think the saying, where the money is, love is true? Yes, that's right. A man spending money on you doesn't necessarily mean he loves you, but if he doesn't spend money on you, then he definitely doesn't love you. So do you think it's more important for your partner to be ambitious or considerate? Ambitious. I hope he can at least live his own life well.
宝子们，你们敢相信吗？
Can you believe it, my friends? People who meet through arranged matchmaking often get engaged within 3 months and walk into marriage within 6 months. And what's even more surprising is that many of them actually grow even sweeter and happier after marriage. Most people think that a relationship decided in such a short time can't possibly have real love. But in reality, many of these couples truly find love after marriage. Why does this happen? The key lies in the fact that both parties have similar backgrounds and know how to be content. When both sides are equally matched, they can quickly move from dating to engagement and then to marriage. In these cases, material conditions are often far more important than appearance. The examples of those who quickly marry after matchmaking and end up living happier, more stable lives show us one thing: marriage isn't about looks. A solid financial foundation is like a strong cornerstone. It keeps married life steady and secure. That's why, when it comes to matchmaking, don't be foolish or reckless. Don't gamble your future away. If the other person's financial situation is extremely poor and you impulsively choose them just because you like who they are, chances are it won't end well. After marriage, life is made up of rice, oil, and daily necessities, all of which need money to sustain. Love alone, no matter how deep, can't solve the problems of real life. So, when you're considering marriage through matchmaking, you must stay rational and keep your eyes open. Pay close attention to material conditions, the real hard currency, because doing so adds layers of protection to your future. After all, we all hope that our married life will be both sweet and stable. Don't act blindly or on impulse. Take responsibility for your own happiness.
那你觉得男生好还是女生好？
When a girl says no, does she actually mean no or yes? Of course it means yes. Even when she says no, it still means yes. That's just how girls are when they're being cute. Hello everyone, my name is Yexi. I'm actually from Chaozhou, and yes, I'm a second-generation rich kid. Laughs. Are you the kind of girlfriend who's a virtuous wife and good mother? I guess so. I know how to take care of people. Laughs. What kind of conditions should a guy meet to marry you? Just marry me if he likes me, that's enough. I like someone who's sunny and understands what I'm thinking. And if your boyfriend doesn't understand you, then I'm willing to teach him? Laughs. Oh, so that means you're pretty good at relationships then? Not sure about that. Laughs. But I'd say I'm the more proactive one.
今天有个妹妹来找我，说要给她介绍一个脑
Today, a young girl came to me and said she wanted me to introduce her to a man who isn't dull-minded. She told me that before, someone had introduced her to a guy. At first, their conversations were warm and lively. Their parents even met, and they went on trips together. But then the problem appeared. From their very first date until now, eating hot pot, watching movies, strolling in the park, and even traveling together and sharing accommodation, this man has never once held her hand. The girl was so miserable. She said, "How can this even feel like a relationship? There hasn't been a single intimate gesture. I feel like he doesn't even care about me. How could he possibly like me?" In her mind, if a man touches a woman the very first time they meet, he's being too forward, like some uncivilized brute. But if after knowing each other for such a long time, he still hasn't even touched her hand, that's not respect, that's disinterest and contempt. She said, if there's no physical attraction, how could there possibly be any emotional connection? This whole situation reminded me of an old joke. A couple went to a hotel. The woman drew a line down the middle of the bed and said, "If you cross this line, you're a beast." The man didn't cross the line all night. In the morning, the woman slapped him hard across the face and scolded, "You're not even as good as a beast." The man got slapped, yet he still didn't understand what he did wrong. So, tell me, do you think he was wrong? And if so, where exactly did he go wrong?
我父亲是在
My father works in a state-owned enterprise, and my mother is a CFO. So, are you considered a rich second generation? No, not really. I'd just say we're a middle-class family. Laughs. I'm about 1.70 meters tall, and I'm currently working while pursuing my PhD. So, do you have any educational requirements for a boyfriend? No, I don't. Do you have a boyfriend right now? No. What kind of guys do you like? I think I like men who have a sense of responsibility. Would you care about a man's betrothal gift? Yes, I would. I think being well matched in social and family background is very important. Have your parents ever asked how much betrothal gift you'd want when you get married? My dad mentioned it once, but I told him that I think if a woman asks for a bride price, it's basically like selling herself. If you're still watching, comment 1, so I know you're still with me.
男生和女生啊，
Both men and women are generally quite good. The age between 25 and 30 is the golden period for settling one's lifelong matters. Once you pass 30, the difficulty of finding a partner increases sharply, especially for women. Don't keep saying that excellent women never have trouble getting married. If you go to the matchmaking corner at People's Park in Shanghai, you'll understand immediately. It's full of single women. If you ask around, you'll find countless of them with doctoral degrees. But the harsh reality is that in the marriage market, age is a far more fatal factor than education or income. No matter how outstanding you are, if you miss this golden age for choosing a partner, your options and chances will shrink drastically. While you're still young, take action. Don't wait until you've become too picky and then regret it later.
真的受不了，真的好臭哦，真的好难受。
I really can't stand it. The smell was just unbearable. It was so bad. I felt so uncomfortable. I'm a yoga instructor here in Shenzhen, born in 1992, 1 meter 68 tall, with an annual income of about 150,000 yuan. So, what kind of issue are you facing today? Recently, a relative introduced me to a man with pretty good conditions. He works as a developer at a big tech company, and his income is quite impressive. But the last time we went on a date to watch a movie, as soon as he got close to me, I just couldn't take it anymore. You mean the smell coming from him? Yes. At first I thought maybe someone nearby had opened stinky tofu or something like that, but when he leaned closer, it turned out it was him. The smell was so strong, I couldn't even focus on the movie. I just felt completely uncomfortable, but I didn't know how to bring it up to him. So you're saying you really can't tolerate that kind of smell, right? Yes. Does he know how you feel? No, I'm too embarrassed to say it. If that's the case, it seems you're otherwise satisfied with his other qualities, right? If you're hoping to continue developing the relationship, I suggest you bring this issue up and communicate with him directly. After all, with how advanced modern medicine is, there's hardly any problem that can't be solved. I once had a client who faced a similar issue. The two of them went to the hospital together, got it treated, and now they're married. So my personal advice is to talk to him about it, or if you really can't accept it, then just move on and find someone else.
我现在真的被现在女生的婚恋观给震惊到。
I'm honestly shocked by the way some women view marriage and relationships these days. In Beijing now, even wealthy and beautiful women have started pursuing so-called spiritual connection. But after a while, they don't even bother to look anymore. Just today, a Sagittarius woman born in 1994 from Beijing reached out to me. She's a mid-level manager at a well-known company with an annual income of 80,000 yuan. She's an only child, a Beijing local, and her parents are retired with solid assets. Her looks? Honestly, that's not even her biggest strength. She's stunning, tall, long-legged, and has a perfect figure. You can easily imagine a goddess-like beauty. So what kind of man does she want? She said she doesn't care too much about material things. She doesn't mind whether a man owns a house or a car, as long as his job is stable and he has a clear plan for life. She also doesn't care much about the wedding ceremony. Just having both families and close friends gather for a meal is enough. As for the bride price and dowry, she said, let's save as much as we can. What matters most to her is that the two of them can communicate well. She doesn't expect fancy words or big talk, just someone who can joke around and get her sense of humor. Finally, she mentioned that when it comes to dealing with her own parents, she and her partner would take the main responsibility and not be morally constrained by them. And if they ever decide to have a child, she hopes that in the early stages, the man would take care of her. So tell me, do you think these conditions are acceptable? Stories like this one reveal a deeper social reality in today's China, where appearance, income, and even body odor have somehow become new standards for love and marriage. According to China's Ministry of Civil Affairs, the country's marriage rate in 2024 dropped to a historic low of 4.510, while divorce rates have risen by more than 30% compared to a decade ago. Experts say this shift reflects a growing change in young people's attitudes toward relationships where material stability and emotional compatibility are replacing traditional family values. China Social Trends has observed that an increasing number of independent, high-earning women in China are finding it harder to meet suitable partners. The gap in expectations between men and women is widening, and seemingly small things like body odor, height, or income level are now mirrors of much larger social pressures. So, what do you think in today's world? What truly defines love? Genuine emotional connection or financial stability? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow China Social Trends for more real stories and in-depth reports about modern Chinese society. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.